Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Oj Da Juiceman. Now, Oj Da Juiceman is a rapper from the early to mid 2000s, man. I really want to say the mid to late 2000s because he joined the scene with Gucci Man. He was under the original Brick Squad 1017 moniker with Gucci Man back in the early days before he even went to jail, right? Oj Da Juiceman had a nice string of hits of his own, and he was on the XXL freshman list. Dude looked like his career was laid out there, like he was really going to be doing big things out here, right? Well, after Gucci Man got locked up, Oj Da Juiceman's career kind of went down. Then he had some health issues, and he had some run-ins with the law as well. And then there was a situation where he actually got shot. So for him, the story hasn't been so rosy from their time that they rose up in the hip-hop game, dropping all those classic mixtapes, right? Well, it seems like Oj Da Juiceman might have got himself into a pinch again. It looks like he was in Kentucky and got arrested, man. And based on some of the things on his IG page and some of the information out there in his stories I'm about to read, it seems like Oj Da Juiceman might be looking at some serious time, for real, man. Now, before we break down the specifics and talk about everything involved in this story, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Oj Da Juiceman. Out here getting locked up, man. You hate to see it, man, because if you really take a look at Oj Da Juiceman's career, it's been a lot of ups and downs, man. And, when it comes to rappers, especially rappers that are closely affiliated with the streets and things like that, it tends to play out that way unless they just blow up crazy like a Lil Durk or something like that, or like an NBA Youngboy, you know what I mean? They usually, and they still even had their peaks and valleys, right? They had situations where they got arrested or they got in some sort of trouble. So Oj Da Juiceman is no different than that, except he isn't at that level of an artist anymore, right? It seems like he's doing a lot of local shows and things where he's still getting booked out there, but it's never been on the level as it was, when he was on that XXL freshman list, right? But it can't be all bad because it seems like he's out here making moves. He's from Atlanta, so he was in Kentucky, and it seemed like he was out there for a show. Like he had a show at bookings, something lined up, right, that took him out there. But, according to this story from hotnewhiphop.com, it led to him getting arrested. So I don't know if the show or him being in town led to him getting arrested, but man, somehow he got arrested. We'll say that, right? Now the headline says this. It says, Oj Da Juiceman arrested on drug and firearm charges, report, right? Now the story starts off by saying the Atlanta icon was reportedly detained on several charges related to possession. Now, if you know Oj Da Juiceman's music, you remember the Trap Say A and all those songs, there was a lot of heavy drug references in the music, and that doesn't mean that that's anything that he was partaking in his real life. There's a ton of rappers who are out there who talk about stuff that they really ain't dealing with because it wouldn't even make any sense, right? But based on how much that Oj Da Juiceman's drug dealing, lyrics and imagery played a role in him as a rapper, people are already going to say that he's guilty, or fans are already going to come out and look at him like he might be guilty. But, you're innocent until proven guilty in these situations. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, we haven't heard much from Oj Da Juiceman lately, but a local news station in Kentucky shared that the rapper ended up on the wrong side of the law. The East Atlanta icon rose to fame in the early 2000s alongside his longtime friend Gucci Man, and the pair repeatedly collaborated and partnered on singles together. These days, the Juice Man is said to be operating his own independent record label, 32 ENT. And it seems like 32 ENT, he's been pushing that for a long time. Oj Da Juiceman, he was pushing 32 ENT, I believe, even when he was with Gucci Man and Deb Atney and all them, right? Now, the story continues by saying this. However, Oj Da Juiceman, real name Otis Williams Jr., was highlighted by Lex 18 News this morning, May 4th, and it wasn't because the rap career, according to the outlet, he was arrested. So this story is obviously from yesterday, and it was published today, and it's talking about this local news story from Kentucky. So there's a Lex 18 News in Kentucky, and they put the original story out there. And in the headline of that story, it says this. It says, rapper known as Oj Da Juiceman booked in Hardin County Detention Center on gun and drug charges. Now, it starts off by saying Hardin County, Kentucky, Lex 18. Otis Williams Jr., better known by his stage name, Oj Da Juiceman, has been booked in Hardin County Detention Center. The 40-year-old Atlanta-based rapper is best known for his work with rapper Gucci Mane. Williams was charged with possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, possession of a drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Williams has a court date of May 13th. So it looks like he's going to be in court next week, looking at these charges or whatever, or at least to face the judge. I don't know if they're going to set bond or anything at that time, but if you go to Oj Da Juiceman's IG page, you'll see him, promoting an event that's supposed to be taking place this weekend, this Sunday, for like a Mother's Day event. So I'm not sure if he already bonded out or not, but it does seem like, they're not worried about the situation, even though these are some very serious charges. People get locked up a long time for being a felon in possession of a weapon. Like, that's a major one. And in rappers, it seems like they all catch that. A lot of them catch that charge. I can't say all, but it seems like a lot of rappers catch that charge. Now, the original story ends by saying this. It says the details surrounding the arrest remain unclear, and the news station didn't share much about the case, including when it all went down. And I actually, somebody sent me something where I think this went down maybe 2 or 3 days ago, to be real with you. You know what I mean? Now, the story also ends by saying this. It says, things can't be going too bad for the rapper because on his Instagram story this evening, he was seen in a video promoting his Mother's Day show this weekend. He promised to perform all of his greatest hits and encouraged his fans and followers to make their way to the event. Meanwhile, Oj Da Juiceman is reportedly set to return to court next week on May 13th. So basically the same thing that was said in that original report. And they had his mugshot or whatever put out there by the local news there. So it looks like a tough situation for a rapper who's already kind of past his prime in the rap game. And this is not to say that he couldn't have made a huge comeback or that it was over for Oj Da Juiceman. It's just that, man, sometimes in the rap game, that fall from the top is bad. Like 1 second you on XXL freshman cover, everybody's booking you for shows, everything's up. And then couple years later, not even a couple years, it's been about a decade, because he was on that XXL cover with Nipsey, and I think Meek Mill was on that cover. A lot of different people was on that cover, right? And you fast forward time, and it just doesn't seem like it's on anybody's side in these cases, right? Especially when it comes to sports and entertainment. Now, with that, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think it's possible that Oj Da Juiceman was out in Kentucky doing bad? Or do you think that maybe there might be some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding here where Oj Da Juiceman isn't even from there and he probably had nothing to do with it? And the substance that he was allegedly found with is legal in a lot of states. Now, the whole weapon thing, that's a whole different case and a whole different situation. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.